Hi friends, it's Ms.Jessi. Today I will be reading a book to you guys. The story Huey tells. Hope you guys like it. Hey friends, today we will be reading The Story Huey Tells by Anne Cameron. Blue light, green light. My brother Julian isn't scared of the dark. Nighttime doesn't bother him. He just gets into bed, puts a pillow over his head, and goes to sleep. Not me. I don't like the dark. And I get scary dreams. One, I dream lots of times, and every time I dreamed it, it got worse. Finally, I told it to Julian. I was walking in a high place, then all of a sudden I went over a cliff. The whole world just dissolved. I was falling straight down to the bottom of the universe. I was going to hit it and die. Then what? Julian asked. I woke up. That's nothing, Julian said. I've had much scarier dreams than that. Once, I dreamed a lion licked my face, but I wasn't even scared. A lion is not like fallen, I said. He made me mad. He always acts like nothing I say is important. It's no use of telling you anything, I said. I told Mom my dream, how when I was falling, it was like my stomach climbed into my head. She said maybe the dream wouldn't happen anymore if my body had more calcium. She said she'd fix me warm milk with honey before I went to bed. I told my dad my dream. I was falling through nowhere, I said. There wasn't one solid thing anywhere, and I just kept dropping faster and faster all the way to the bottom of the universe. Huey, my dad said, the universe doesn't have a bottom, so you can't hit it, and there isn't anywhere. Every place is somewhere. In the dream, it's like I'm paralyzed, and it seems like I'm nowhere. Maybe your mattress is too soft, my dad said. I'll put a piece of plywood under it. And he did, but the next night, even with calcium and plywood, I was falling just the same. Plywood didn't fix it, I told my dad. I still feel like I'm falling through nowhere. He had just come home from work. Give me time to think, he said. He went into the house and sat in his favorite chair. He put his elbow on his knees and his chin in his hands. He shut his eyes and pulled his hair. He sighed. Then he opened his eyes and smiled. I have just what you need in the basement, he said. He ran down the basement stairs and came up with something in a bag. Come on, he said. We went straight upstairs to my bed. He reached into the bag like a magician. This is the answer, he said. He pulled out a brand new brick. How is that going to help me? I asked. Feel it, Dad said. I felt it. This brick, my dad said, is solid. He set it down in the middle of my bed. Now, try it. Try it, I said. Yes, he said, lie down on it. Lie down on it? I said, yes. I didn't really want to try it, but I did. I lay back. I could feel the edges of the brick against my spine. I could even feel the 3 round holes in the middle of it. I sat up. How did it feel, Huey? My dad asked. Hard, I said. See? My dad said. That's how the world really is. Hard. Full of hard stuff. You really can't just fall asleep nowhere. If you sleep on this nice brick, it will tell your body that. Dad, I said, if I lie on that brick, I will never sleep again. My dad looked disappointed. Anyhow, he said, maybe your body will remember how it felt and not forget the world is solid. Or if you wake up, maybe just touching it will help. He put it next to the lamp on my night table. What's that? Julian asked when he saw it. It's a present from Dad, I said. Why didn't he give me a present? Julian asked. You don't need one, I said. When I woke up at night, I touched the brick. It made me feel better, but it doesn't stop my bad dream. Julian and I have a friend, Gloria. I was scared to tell her about my dream. I was scared she'd nothing it, like Julian. But one day, when Julian wasn't around, I told her anyway. "That's a horrible dream," she said. She sounded like she really understood how it was. Even though she was understanding a horrible thing, her understanding made me feel good. "Do you get scary dreams sometimes?" I asked. "Sometimes," she said, "real bad ones." And she told me about them. The worst was about a bad guy with guns trying to break down the door to her house. She and her mom and dad pushed and pushed against the door to hold the bad guys back. And then the door broke, and she and her folks started running. But they couldn't run fast enough. "That dream is as bad as mine," I said. "Yes," Gloria said. "And when I wake up, I feel scared and kind of sick to my stomach, and I don't want to go back to sleep. I can be brave when I'm awake, but it's hard to be brave when you're asleep. I wish we can signal each other when we wake up at night," I said, "so we could tell each other that we're okay. With lights in our bedroom windows, we could do it," Gloria said. "I can see yours shining, and you can see mine." "We should do it," I said. So we asked our folks for permission to buy lights and hang them in our windows. Gloria's folks said she could do it if I could. My folks said I had to ask Julian. I thought he would say no, but he didn't. He said it was a good idea. My dad drove up to a hardware store. We bought a reflector light with string clamps and colored reflective bulbs. Gloria bought a green bulb. Julian and I bought a blue one. My dad let the three of us out of the truck at Gloria's house. The clamp on the light was so hard to open, Gloria's mom and dad clamped it to the window for her. Gloria screwed in the bulb and plugged in the light. It worked! At our house, we got our lights fixed just like Gloria's, and Gloria stayed for supper. Afterwards, she went home so we could test our signals. Julian and I went up to our room exactly at 9. We screwed in the bulb. Our blue light shone out. Down the street, there came an answer. A green light glowing in Gloria's window. It works, Julian said, and it isn't quite so dark in here. Sometimes it gets too dark. That's why I sleep with a pillow over my head. I was surprised. I thought you liked the dark, I said. A whole lot of it is too much, Julian said. I thought, maybe if it wasn't just me and Gloria that didn't like the dark, maybe it scares everybody a little. If it gets too dark, I told him, you can come and get in the bed with me sometimes. And now, sometimes he does. There's one good thing about the dark. In daylight, our signals don't show up. It's the dark that makes them beautiful. I don't have fallen dreams anymore. I don't know why. Maybe the reason is the plywood. Maybe it's my brick. Maybe it's a hot milk with honey. Maybe it's because I know everybody is scared sometimes. Now when I wake up at night, there's a blue glow in our window. I know our light is shining strong to Gloria's house. I get up and go to the window. Beyond lots of dark houses, I see Gloria's green light. It is steady and bright, like a beam from a lighthouse that guides ships away from danger. I know from her house, ours is that bright too. I stand a long time at that window looking out from our light to hers, feeling happy. We are okay. Me and Julian and Gloria. The rule. My mom and dad have a rule. At every meal, Julian and I have to eat at least a little bit of everything on our plate. Julian doesn't mind. My mom says that ever since he was a baby, he liked to eat every single vegetable and all kinds of strange foods. When I was born, my mom thought that I would be like Julian. I'm not. It's because of me that they made up the rule. Because of the rule, I have eaten a little bit of oysters and asparagus. I have eaten a little bit of eggplants and turnips. I had eaten a piece of radish so tiny afterward I had to use my magnifying glass to show my parents there was some missing from the radish.